We are on.
We are on.
And the camera's not too bad. I reckon you can start officially pretty soon. A little bit different camera angle.
Hello and welcome back to Yin Yang. Today we are talking ADHD, both from our personal experiences and just wanting to shine a light on ADHD and how different it presents in people, in just the hope that it might help you if you have it or somebody that you know that has it. And we're just going to be sharing some of our experiences and the way that we deal with it and some tools, so hopefully it helps you guys.
Yeah, I guess everything we do in any field with our fields is about helping people. And you don't really know how you get to this point in life. In the last 2 or 3 years, I guess, has been pretty pivotal in that. For us, you probably go about life, and if you're anything like we were, obviously didn't know each other growing up, Shell, but if you're anything like we were, you're probably watching this just by chance or whatever, and you're just going, if some of these relate and really hit home, then just be aware that there's a lot. It can be easier. I guess that's the biggest thing we want to get out of.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're just going to both share some of our experiences. Do you want to start with that, or?
I guess again, these tools we have with podcasts and live streams and that, and out of all the stuff I've done in sport, coaching and media, I've never spoken about this, so it's great to have these platforms show that you can really help others without even knowing you're helping them, which I think is great. Yeah, the ADHD form, I guess some people that might have known me in some situations would have looked at me and go, yeah, no shit, like as if you haven't. But because we're going to touch on, I guess, the way it affects, it can hit a lot different. It's not just that stereotypical, non-stop or I can't sit still or a quote-unquote naughty kid in class that it might have been for so many decades. And the stigma, there is no stigma anymore. And I think with all neurodivergency, there's a place for people to learn and kind of accept that maybe it could be part of them as well. But the way it kind of manifested for so long is it got worse and worse as I got older, by the way. But genuinely my whole life. Now I touched on this last week a little bit, but we're not going to go over and over neurodivergency by any stretch of the imagination. But it's just about different topics each week to go through. But this is obviously what makes us, so it's important. But it just manifested in total inability to focus, number one, and to get out of my own way. There's a continual sabotaging, pretty much, and obviously in line with other stuff going on, but pretty much from the age of 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it? I think now with social media and how there's so much information out there, it's actually been really good, because I feel that for things like this, so when we sort of started seeing more about things coming up about ADHD, it was like, oh, I'm ticking that box. Like, yes. And then when you went down the route of thinking, yeah, I really think I've got this, and when you got diagnosed, and we're like, of course, like a light bulb, like you look now, knowing what we know, we can say, looking back, like, of course. But for you, you're out, like you're very confident and you're out there, whereas I'm a bit more a bit more just shyer, and it doesn't sort of on the face of it look like I would have it, but internally absolutely I tick so many boxes of it, and it's just
it's something that I know that, and this is the thing, I've got to still continue to, I think it was my psychologist that might have said it off the bat one day, and again, this took ages and ages and ages to get a good psychologist over the last 20 years, and Shelly found me a good one, and it was OCD based, but with all the activity that was sabotaging me, I think he might have been the first, and then you look down, you can go down rabbit holes and see it all, but it certainly does express itself in different ways. So we want to go through, I guess, what it might look like. We'll try to be really succinct with 4 or 5 of the major, I guess, like presentations of it within us, and then 4 or 5 of the ways we've really worked on it, I guess, never linear, but work on it daily, which I think might be able to help some people of all kinds of realms. So how does it present for you, from a young girl to now?
Yeah, well, I always struggled with school growing up, just struggled to understand things, and I wasn't a great reader, I just got lost in the books, in the words. And looking back, like through my diagnosis, there were so many things that came up, and I was just like, yes. So I got sent out of the classroom a lot. It was just easily distracted, and it just looked like I didn't really care, but I just wasn't taught the way I could have been taught. And so now, like, there's audio books, like I've listened to so many books, like I just feel so grateful the last 18 months of that change. But I suppose growing up, things like being so forgetful, like not knowing people's names, birthdays, dates, tasks, like totally forgetting, and then you're feeling like so guilty when, you know, you haven't shown up for that thing, or that person will say, oh, you've done it again, or there's so much guilt, and you just feel like you're letting people down, and then there's that internal dialogue of just hatred for yourself, and that goes down a rabbit hole, and I suppose I've always sort of had anxiety, and so now knowing it's all part of ADHD. So that's a big one, and I always felt like I was dumb growing up. So that was a huge one. Which
is not, and no matter when we got together, it's not the case at all. But
you wouldn't be with somebody dumb.
No, there's no way. But also, we talk about the number one relationship being with yourself, necessity, and both of us have probably had a lot of self-loathing issues, but also the self-compassion. And we don't know that, we're not taught that, but also a young 12-year-old girl at high school, like you were always the youngest in the class as well, being as a young high school, year 7, then young, and then going through that with those things, and then it kind of develops because it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you're always thinking you're dumb, you're always anxious, always on edge, always looking
at fight or flight.
Always in fight or flight. So apart from the fact you're always sick, which I know you had lots of infections, tonsillitis, millions of times, appendicitis, flus.
I was in hospital every year of my high school. There's something different, and that's what was happening to the body. You know, the mind was doing that to the body.
And when we talk about that, like, I think I said on a runner session last week about stress being worse than smoking 40 ciggies, 40 darts a day. I'm being facetious, but only slightly. Like it's true. Like anyone that thinks they're not anxious or stressed because they think it's normal, but they're continuing to get sick, they're not content or happy, they probably want to have a bit of a broader look at things. If they're getting constant infections, and I know this is something we'll probably get to in another episode, me, but you were constant, and definitely growing up myself, I was never ever content or happy, but I always thought it was because of the O, said it, but and then I would be constantly like playing catch up, like I was always hyper vigilant about what people thought of me. Way too much, which is nuts, really, because it doesn't marry in with who I am, and that's another thing with ADHD. Like that, we actually, I'm sure it's not 100% uniform, but we actually really, really, really care about helping and other people. But then when you're in the moment of something you care about, because obviously we've all got our passions, so in my instance it might have been footy or something else, or whatever, you're hyper, and you do your actual head in, and you end up having the exact opposite of what you want occur.
Yeah, but that's where your energy's going as well. It's going in that wrong spot.
So you're too worried about making mistakes, too worried about what's this and that, saying that you've done yourself a mischief 2 nights ago because you've been out partying or not because you couldn't cope with and you just wanted to continue to. It was just a non-stop cycle, and that goes for the fact of focusing. I certainly what I knew that I couldn't focus didn't do anything at school ever, and same as Shelly, where I've made a habit of I do try to read, but I can't. I get lost. Hundreds and hundreds of audio books and continuing to study now. It's becoming a little bit easier, but still not easier. So, but your stuff with what people think and that human beings I know all over the world might feel like this, but a lot don't. Give me some examples of this.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say the other day I had this massive realization. I feel like everything's just unfolding, and I was actually in a retail shop and I realized, because I feel like I'm so much more present now and clearer in the mind, so that it's just so much lighter, but there's not as much talk going on for that. Oh, is somebody watching me? And it's also that whole taking up space. So I felt when I was in this shop, I just walked in the shop and I had to buy a present. So I was trying to find a present, and it wasn't sort of an easy, I'll get that. I was like, oh, and I caught myself thinking back in the day, I used to think to myself, oh, I've been in the shop 10 minutes. They're going to think, one, that I might even be like shoplifting, like all these weird thoughts, or like, I'm taking up too much time, I have to find this thing, or that person's looking at me, and I was literally in a place but not present. And instead, I can now walk in. I know this sounds a bit crazy, but that was my whole life with anything, walking on the street, any room I came in, and now I'm just walking in and I'm just present, and it's the biggest gift ever. So I don't know, I just want to share, because if this helps other people or helps somebody maybe understand somebody else more and with more of an open heart, I think that's the key. And
I think especially if it's a loved one or yourself. But I know people might be listening to that and thinking, or I think like that sometimes. But I think the thing about it is it's like 1000% dialed in when you're worrying about like that shop instance, and I can totally relate to that as well, and a million other things. And again, we're not going to go down the route of dopamine and other neurotransmitters today, because there's a lot of great info out there, but it is all a frontal lobe issue. And make no mistake, you really do you need systems and either talk therapy, your own systems, which we'll talk about in a minute, and possibly, especially for this, the right meds, and can get that sort of psychiatry, because it just makes everything, you can be more authentically you. The fact you can actually walk around in peace, finally, and I think we talk about peace and contentment being the true currency, because you can try to really become yourself and really do what you're meant to do on this earth. Peace and contentment, as opposed to constant happiness, and that we obviously try to be positive, but toxic positivity is a thing as well. It's really it's not real. Like, we don't wake up bouncing out of bed. It's different. Everyone's got their systems, but the peace that Shell just spoke on when you're in the shop is a big thing.
Yeah, well, it's just chaos in the mind. It used to just be so much chaos, and trying to filter what do I have to do today, and then forgetting, and then anyway, there is a solution I've got at the moment that we'll talk about later.
We will. I think that we don't want to go over and over, because we could talk. I'm sure in different shows we might go back to this a bit, because we could spend an hour each.
Yeah, just showing on different ways that it
on a million different negatives, right?
Yeah.
And there's a million negatives, and let's not get it started on addiction and all that, because we would spend hours there as well. But what I'm trying to say is it is real. Don't let the wave of the last 6 years of people you might hear about getting diagnosed think that it's just some new craze. It's been around forever. The brain, and obviously it used to manifest in just people that could never reach their potential, or were just addicts, drugs, alcohol, other stuff. or just could never reach their potential. Just had so much to offer the world, and you might picture people in your head right now with true gifts, because normally people you can really turn into a bit of a superpower, and I guess that's what we're trying to do here and now. And mate, we don't want to be advocates for this particular like 4 letters either. Like this is just part of our journey and story. So we might as well share it, help other people, and then continue to probably put our energy into what we're really qualified and passionate about, which is both our fields. But we have got some tools.
Well, we just wanted to share, how we manage it, how we express our ADHD, and what sort of has worked for us. For me, I get very easily overstimulated, and I need solitude. I withdraw. I might cancel some things. I just need to regulate, and I need quiet, and I'm very extremely sensitive to noise and light.
You are. I think when you said that, people go, anyone that knows this, like Shell's extremely social, extremely great energy and very vibrant, and obviously when you walk in a room, very energetic and vibrant. So I think it's important that the people that don't know you know that, because you've just expressed there that you might sometimes, you definitely, I think for the whole life, not to speak for you, but you would struggle to walk into social rooms,
100%.
situations, every single time, and I wasn't that far behind. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Shelly,
and it's funny,
well, Shelly, very social and bubbly, but the constant other things you're going through every day used to make it impossible. You've got a lot better.
You feel like you're going to muck up so much. I think you're probably the same.
Just constant spotlight.
Dialogue going on.
But again, it's self-love, isn't it? And not caring, and being unbothered by everything. But the other thing you mentioned was if you have got lots on, which we always have, you can pick. You've had to pick and choose sometimes when to.
I think with you, you probably obviously movement for me. If we get into now sort of what actually works, movement for both of us is huge in whatever way. So every day, just non-negotiable, isn't it, for our ADHD? But for you, it's that real high energy and the output of going live and giving so much. I feel like that's actually like a really positive coping mechanism, and that really helps you.
Yeah, definitely. I think absolutely the training from any point of view, and then but like anything, as long as you don't make it a negative and a crutch to bear. So the training every day is a non-negotiable, and we'll get to some of the daily stuff that we both do. But exercise in movement, and a lot of the stuff I'm writing about and speaking to corporates about these days is movement for mindset and movement for energy, not the other way around. So not waiting until your mindset's good or your energy's good to move. It's the other way around. So I certainly live by that. And definitely the coaching side of it. I feel like the balance is good. I used to probably do way too much of the coaching side of it that really was taken away from everything physically that I
give too
I
much.
would like to
There's
do.
a balance, isn't there? There's a point.
It's just because the way I would look at it was, yes, it was a great, because I could sometimes go in on a Monday morning at 4:30 in that morning and have back to back, obviously groups of 25, awesome, and I love the people, and
Fed off the energy.
Sometimes you're in a really bad way when you're walking in. But that's not their problem, is it? So, and obviously everything, it took a long time to even talk about this. I took I think 25 to 30 years to talk about it. So it's a long time, so I never would I talk to anyone about it. And then, you feed off it, you get good, but then because I wasn't moving too much myself, and then it probably became too much over the last few years. So I think we've got a good balance. But your movement is a little bit different.
Yeah, for me, I want to say freedom is the best way to put it. So I love moving, but I don't necessarily like to be told what to do.
No.
My running coach here.
Doesn't like to tell what to do
at all.
I
ran a half marathon this one time last year. But but I love just just dancing, moving, putting on music for me is huge. So in part of the coping, that real playfulness and fun is definitely as just as important as the calming and meditating and the beautiful slow sort of sounds, and that's definitely been huge for me. Breath work is massive. Sauna that we're very grateful to have. I've had that for about 4 months now. It's just amazing. Do it probably 4 or 5 times a week, and I think we'll do one in the sauna. I think we're going to record in the sauna.
Excuse me, I'm happy to do it in the sauna.
And talk about the sauna.
I think you've always been a bit more, because you were so, you travelled from like a very young age all over the world, snowboarding, skateboarding, really exploring, hiking. So I think that's always been your movement thing, like your movement with the exploring.
Ways. More action,
exploring, just different, how the body feels.
Different stuff,
Obviously, you like your S&C and your gym.
Yeah, I love that,
but, and your very short sprints. And it's sort of said, there's no right or wrong. And the movement, in fact, we're live on YouTube today, but the movement, some of the movement stuff it's on my YouTube stuff, it's just change of state. So you've always got movement up your sleeve, so I guess that works, and it's just 30 seconds. That's the change of state that we want. So clearly I'm aware of that, and I guess that,
so in the yin yang type, so movement, but it's just so different. It's the same as like a lot of our strategies. It's it's we've got the same like wired brains of this ADHD, but just looks so different, and the strategies are just
and there's no need to not you might take one from each of us and then your own stuff, because I know that some of Shell's stuff is also really good for me as well. But there's no way it's going to work for me.
Like dancing in the kitchen?
No, not dancing in the kitchen. Definitely some of the yin and nidra and yoga and meditation. Dancing in the kitchen. Vader would have a fit if I started dancing. I'm no good. I can't be good at it.
Sorry. I just wanted to share this amazing app and you're starting to look at it too now.
It's been good.
You got to give things a go, and there's so many things out there, but this one it's pretty simple. There's probably a million of them, but just dedicating yourself to all the thoughts that come in and just kind of getting them out. I think that's another big one, because otherwise, even now that we're sort of aware, we're still getting the thoughts and the tasks, and it's about kind of now working out where to put them for us to do it. And so it's that real like system type thing, and then there's a real like rebellion to I just want to be spontaneous. But I know that we both like thrive on that system, but we probably both don't like the planning side of it. Anyway, this app, it has tasks like a to-do list that can be millions, and then you just drag them and allocate them and schedule them, and it's been a game changer. And I know when you tick it and it gives you like confetti, and I know they do that to make it feel like it's a reward, but I don't know, it's bloody awesome. I love it. I love just ticking it.
It is good, and I think that's a big important part to remember, that it doesn't just get better, and it's definitely not linear, but awareness is the biggest thing. And I think the system and routine, now I've done 400 day and 100 day heroes, and it's been huge for me personally, but now following on from that, like I just do everything in a routine basis, no matter how I'm feeling, and that's really important. So I do the same thing at 5 a.m. or 4:30 for me now, but just get up and you just do 5 minutes of mindset and movement. But and you don't want to depends what's happened, but there's often, because again, 60,000 thoughts a day, most of them are going to be not great, and the same as the thoughts as you had before and since your whole life. So if you're working on that scale and you're doing the same stuff you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. But the ability to just know, I control my destiny, I get up and move with purpose and mindset. It's light, it's flow, not force. Brush my teeth, wash my face, have a couple of steps. Then I'll do my either training session, or I'll go live coaching for runners stuff or 100 Day Heroes. So that's the routine, the training stuff that Shell said.
And the rituals that you have, and now you've just embodied that, so your life just flows more. But prior, it used to just be, all over the shop.
I was a victim. I would be dictated to by. I'd be tough enough to grit and just think grit would do it. But unfortunately,
But you burn out.
You burn out very quickly.
And
there's a time and a place for grit. Sorry to interrupt. There's a time and a place for grit and toughness and hardness, and I just bloody love it. But it can't be all the time, because that's when you said fight or flight. That's when you've got just cortisol hormones chronically, and I've got no doubt. It's not about this, but I've got no doubt it just caused the lung disease and stuff that I had for 25 years. Well, because of that.
Absolutely.
That's.
What about the tasks that come in, or like something that you know interrupts you, or other things that are coming? You've got this beautiful routine, but then life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel like you're best managing that?
That's a great question. I think we've got a thing in our presentations in 100 Heroes about micro goals. I just make sure they don't deviate.
Yeah.
Okay? You pick 3 to 5 a day, right? They don't deviate ever. But everything else, that's a great question. Like you said on that app, you got the best laid intentions to do it and tick that box, that real
like prioritising
deep task,
and continuing to
I struggle
throughout the day. It's almost like, because that's life, right?
I struggle
because things come in and you're like, well, that it's hard. It's really hard, and I struggle with it every day. And these are just little things that are helping take the edge off. You know, but little things, but big things, because we're building these systems. But yeah, like, it's just great though, the awareness and putting a spotlight on that area, because then when something comes in, what I feel like the biggest key is that self-love. When it comes in, it's like, oh, instead of getting annoyed and frustrated and angry and it's like, okay, this has come in, cool, stop for a minute and just self-love. I think it used to be, oh, I can't cope, you know, and you just get overwhelmed. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying,
no, definitely,
it's one of those things. It's like, oh, and it's all too much, and it's those tiny bits all throughout the day that really, it's the key. That's self-love. I think it's
really
huge.
well said.
Yeah.
I think I think out of, well, for both of us, but I think for anyone out there, the awareness is number one. Just being able to work around it, and we've got heaps of things on the go, and we both, but a lot of people probably want to do too much, but I'm not doing anything that I know I can't handle. It's just trying to get them all done.
Yeah.
And I'm working around, and I think the biggest thing I was going to say as well was like 2 to 3 deep work periods in a day.
And earlier on in the day.
And I really just, my brain just cooked.
Same.
But that's okay. We work through that. I can obviously do low end stuff.
Yeah.
Like low pain. But the stuff that
life
really...
admin can be...
The real life admin's okay. But it's just the top deep stuff that I really want to work on and get good and finish work stuff really is not easy. And some of the chores might go by the wayside. But anyway, but the biggest thing that Shell said there that I really want everyone to listen to and remember, if you are in this space, is whether or not you've got a diagnosis or not, whether you're not, if you're likely that you're probably suffering from some form of ADHD type setup, is the self-love and the realisation that it's going to be okay. Don't not beat yourself up for days, weeks, months over things that you might have said, done, forgot, whatever. It needs to go.
Yeah.
You need to just continue to move forward and look towards the future you, and how can I just set my day up a bit better, which is what we're trying to do today.
And then you can thrive. You know, you're all set, and then you can actually thrive in what you've been sent to do in this world. You know, it's the bigger picture, it's your creativity, it's your intuition. You can access all of that, you know, and you can blossom in it. It's actually a gift, I believe. And it's nothing that needs to be fixed. It's just understanding how it works and understanding it for yourself. I think is the biggest thing. Self-awareness and self-understanding. So being with yourself in meditation and asking yourself, how am I today? And just meeting yourself a lot, you know, throughout the day is huge. And then, you know, if you've got a loved one with it, understanding them, and then you're more compassionate because you understand them. And then so your life is a lot more
That's a great point.
Yeah, peaceful.
It's the peaceful, and I think the biggest thing what I was, Cheryl's obviously helped me a lot with this, but you just being able to, number one, single task, but number two,
that's huge.
Quieten the brain, quieten the mind, and just be okay with whatever is going on around me and my thoughts, and not try to push them away. Or you are not your thoughts, by the way. We know that we're not. But just being I'm being really focusing on taking a lot of internal screenshots in life, and not always rushing. Not always. I'm not always taking shitloads of photos per se, but actually taking internal screenshots. So instead of taking, look, I've got a lot of photos of the kids and whatever on my phone, but it's
60,000.
It's not about that, is it? It's not about taking shitloads of photos. It's about internal screenshots in moments, and using a swim or a ride or a run or a walk to go through our thoughts and just really be okay with that. And if you do that over and over again, we're going to wake up, this is the thing, 50, 60, 70 years of age, there's a high chance that we're going to have lots of bad mental days. But as long as you accept that and don't bathe in it for more than a minute, then your day can be unbelievable.
Absolutely. And looking back, it was just like back years and years ago, because we both were trying to deal with our own stuff. So when we're in our own,
and get ahead
and look, just in our own thing, and the understanding is everything. So we're just sort of sharing this to say, hey, just self-inquire, like it's the biggest thing, and and then talk to your family and friends and conversations, and just it's just about making life lighter, really, isn't it, and more enjoyable. And we can do this. It can be done differently.
Well, it can be done differently and easier. And what's it look like when it's easy? And also, it doesn't have to be your whole identity.
And authentic,
we can chat a quick chat. I had a couple of friends we chat about, but we don't chat much about this stuff. But what it is it's part of us. And how can we make every day lighter and easier? That's the thing. If you wake up the next day and you go, okay, having a shitter, absolute shitter. I need to change this trajectory, but maybe it's not going to be a crazy high achievement day, or it might. If you get your systems in place from the start, okay, maybe I'll shoot. Midday, I've actually done a lot. Or it's one of those days where you're really zapped. I think you call them shadows, or in the spiritual world and that, and then you needed some genuine regeneration time.
And going, okay, that's okay. Like, that's the key, isn't it?
Daytime nap, which I'm good at.
That's another thing.
I don't hate myself anymore.
You hated for doing it. And for me, like years and years ago, it would be like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff and you're having a nap. And it would be frustrating, but now we get it now. We get it. It's
you think back to the weekend.
I think I'm actually just jealous because I can't nap during the day.
I actually have got no choice half the time. I'd sleep when I've been coaching or talking or thinking, whether it's a 4:30 start or even a 5:30, like it doesn't matter. I would sleep on the middle of the asphalt for a couple of times, like even once or twice a day, 50 minutes, and I'd sleep on the Monash freeway. That's the way. I'm actually joking.
And you're a different person afterwards.
But I'm actually not joking about that. That's the thing. So if that's you, that's fine. It's just the way it is. And it's just a regeneration and go again. And it's like a footy rotation, quick spell on the bench, go again. We've tried to keep this really general. If there's anything we've missed out.
No, I think that's,
I think the biggest thing is, I think Cheryl said it beautifully, is whether you're diagnosed or not, you've got to give yourself the compassion and the love back. And you've got to stop reversing back over it. Guilt, shame, self-hatred, they're three of the lowest frequency emotions you could ever have, and there's no way you're going to get anything in life that you deserve if you're harbouring those three emotions. Judgment, jealousy, all these things needs to go now.
And even any type of anxiety, any thoughts, it's not about having a label. It's just about trying to share our experience that can hopefully help you might take one bit out of today, you know. So yeah,
Love
that's all
that.
it is.
We are about movement, mindset, and mindfulness, and this comes into it really. So that's a lot we'll be chatting about, those three things, I dare say, and this is a pretty big one. Any last words, darling? What have we got?
No. If there's anything, comment below, and just I'd love to hear if you resonate with anything, and if there's anything that you want us to talk about. We have had a few things come through, which is awesome, and I think going live, we might do this. It's raw, and we like it like that.
I love it.
I think it's more authentic and natural, and so.
Shell knows this anyway, but I never ever she's worked behind the scenes with me since 2014. We've filmed for the app. Never more than one take. I'm not. 2 takes. I can't handle it. I just walk out.
We have to do it another day. It's like I'm like, oh no.
One take. I give no fucks. So live it is. YouTube. I love that shit, and it's authentic. And you know what? We are real. We are who we are. You'll never see 1,000 takes from us. You guys are the best. Thanks for this. Thanks for the one episode. Though I reckon we got more love for one episode. I did 60 something Rise Up episodes. World class guests. Premiership coaches, NBA players, bloody Olympians 4 times.
Keeping it real. Everyone wants the real stuff.
I think it's got a little bit to do with you. My far more attractive,
do not think so.
better half.
Say that.
Do
not.
Okay, I won't say that anyway. We'll move on. Huge love. It's a great day to be alive. Never forget that we get to do this, don't you? And that's one of mine. So I can't. What are you? You got to sign off or something.
I'll work on that.
Huge love. Let's just keep moving forward, no matter what your situation is.
Have an awesome day.